Hello worldies and welcome back to the channel. I wanted to talk about SHERA 7 and this hate train that has gotten started up again. There is nothing that screams male-centered than having one-sided beef with SHERA 7. Like, let me tell you something that you probably don't know about SHERA, but I bet you I know. First of all, SHERA doesn't know who you are. She does not care about who you are. So, trying to tear her down is not stopping her bag. It's not stopping her life or anything like that. I will also say that if I see a woman giving critique about SHERA 7, and I'm looking at SHERA 7, and I'm looking at the woman giving the critique, and it's a negative critique. It just seems like unforgiving and just unreasonable, or just something that I disagree with deeply. I'm often noticing this pattern that it's I would rather look like SHERA. Oftentimes the women who support SHERA, I find that I look more like and that I desire and enjoy looking more like those women as opposed to the women who are sometimes more so for being against her. I don't really have any desire to have their dating lives and SHERA is just a person. She's not a human. People are trying to make her into an idol. I remember when everything happened with Isis, formerly known as the new trophy wife, people were blaming SHERA for the situation that went on and everything. Just people are always looking to make her the villain when I don't really think she does anything negative but help women, because I think that her content is I don't know if I would say that, because she has two different platforms, right? One of them, I think she just knows what it is, right? Her one platform, as Shira Star Goddess, is not really male-centered at all. She collabs with men, but she does not really talk about it. It's giving money, wealth, just prosperity, spiritual, decoding the matrix type of stuff. Then her other channel, she does not talk about how to feel loved and chosen and how to feel like you are the prettiest princess at the ball, how to get all of your emotional needs met, how to just fall in love, how to never make any mistakes in a relationship, how to never fight. That's not what her platform is. And a lot of women, I think they're just male-centered and absolutely delusional to have such an issue with SHERA's content. How male-centered do you have to be to hate and try to tear down the woman who is trying to put other women on game, other young women on game? She doesn't have to be giving out whatever game she uses. I'm not saying that I don't worship her. I enjoy her as a content creator and I watch her content at times, just like I enjoy many people, but you should never just make one human or even a religion or something just your idol. But I don't get triggered when I hear some woman telling me hey, this is male nature. This is how you can enjoy your life if you want to engage with them. That channel is more okay, you want to engage with men, how to not get depleted, how to benefit, how to be the one who has the upper hand, or, how to just understand the games or red flags, or just understanding what men are really for. I do truly on a deep level feel as though I think women are just amazing. I don't want to say that I have a gender hierarchy in my head, but I will say that when it comes to what men are, I just think of them as kind of ants, worker ants or something. They go and build the things for us to be in. We want it built. They everything is to make us happy. Everything is to get access to us. Everything is to compete with other men through access and acquisition of, us, through being able to, we are a great reflection of them. They get a lot of their validation, a lot of their sense of identity from us. And I think there's all different types of men with different types of psychological profiles. And, you know, when a woman really is just feeling good and beautiful and amazing, I think that that is where the world becomes a better place. That's where me personally, I'm not one of those girls who can't get along with other women. The only women I don't get along with are miserable bitches. Everybody, like, and it's not saying that I'm like friends with everybody, but it's like things are really not that deep. If you're upset all the time and I'm generally more carefree, we're probably just not going to align. If I generally like to be active and stay like motivated and moving and, you know, I'm adventurous and spontaneous and you're not, that's, you know, it's probably just not going to vibe. And it's not that somebody has to just be your shadow and just be with you and align with you on every single thing. And I think that, you know, in critiquing Shira, I think that's why so many women don't care about people bringing up her past or like her like actions, anything like that. Like, why would I care about that? It's not going to change. Like, it's weird to, instead of just like taking men off of a pedestal and understanding what they are for, you know, especially when Shira talks about giving women financial advice, literally talking about how to like if they're not coming with that, what are they for? Like, what are you even interested or attracted in if it's not generosity, if it's not giving? Like, what? And it's hard to be around and to navigate around women who are miserable, but I think largely women, I think some women just love seeing other women struggle. Like, I'm not saying Shira's like a god. Like, it's okay if you're not into hypergamy or if like I believe that women should have their own money. Like, get your own money and get his too. The fuck? Like, get your own money and spend his. Like, why would you not? I just feel like what do you think so little of women? Like, and a lot of these women, that's why, you know, they're the miserable women who, like, they get highly triggered by women just being beautiful, being fit, being snatched, whatever. They think so little of women. They hate other women so much. They think so little of our contributions and of our presence that it's like, how dare you, other woman, not be miserable and depleted and have to feel like you have to give and beg and earn for investment? How dare you be living in a timeline and in a life where that's your standard, and when you attract that and that's where that's all that you're into, they'll be angry that men give to you instead of, like, why didn't you make him give? Why were you talking to him if he wasn't giving? Like, you're mad at me? Be mad at yourself. Be mad at your decisions. Be mad at your strategy. Maybe take a break, you know, set a few games out, you know, a few rounds out. You know, because it doesn't have to be a competition. You don't have to be over here pocket watching. You don't have to be over here, you know, watching my privileges, watching how I'm stacking my social climbing journey, watching what I have going on, hating. You're mad. Like, there's some women that I notice get triggered. I talked a bit about this in my last video as well, when it was the, what video was that? I was talking about female friendship, I believe. You know, like, it is not really necessary to, like, get triggered by women who get simped over. Like, as a man or a woman, if you're a man, it shouldn't trigger you, because if you don't want to do it, then don't do it. Or if you can't do it, then don't do it. If you can't access the type of women that you would do that for. So I think that when a man's in his masculine, he's going to. Like, why the fuck would you, like, because it's an investment. He'll return back tenfold. Like, there's nothing, like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, nothing is, can I say that? It's just people are really, like, politically correct nowadays. I don't know. To me, there's nothing gayer than being like, ew, you being nice to women. It's Like that's, and I'm not saying that like, don't take, like, y'all don't have to take this and run with it. Like, you don't have to take it too deep and be like, oh, you know, she said that kind of word or whatever. She like that. I'm not like, it's not all that. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying that it's like, I just don't understand why you wouldn't want to. And it's like, as a woman, if you're feeling depleted, you're only depleted because you're with a man who's not loving you right. He's not loving you properly. Or you, when it comes to the Shira 7 thing, you're looking for love out of it. And it's like, I'm not going to say that it's like hypergamy is a superior date to like dating for love and things like that. But I will say, because I really like, I try not, just for me personally, I just feel as though you don't have to have the limiting belief that it's one or the other. For one, you can have them all. One, you can be attracted to him and the sex can be good and the money can be good and he can be generous and you can be happy and thrive and all of that good stuff, you know. And, you know, as a man, that should really just be the standard too. And you're not entitled to like, I feel like it's more so about, as a woman, like, you have to be benefiting greatly. Like, there should be a great level of investment. Not everything that he does for you should really count towards investment. A lot of things, like, you have to think about how easy was how easy was it for him to do it? And how much investment is it? Did it cost him anything? Was it any sort of sacrifice? Did he have to lose out on anything, miss out on anything, give anything up? You know, if there's some sort of cost and then the reward is, you know, you multiplying and being fruitful and being happy and sweet and everything like that. Like, I think that it's smart. Like, it's the safest thing, you know, I think, to be around the men who do go into it with a positive mindset. But all Shira's telling you is like, please grow up, because some of us are definitely tired. We're exhausted, not with dating, but with hearing the struggle. We're exhausted with other women being mad that they decided to move a little bit differently. And I also think that when it comes to people bringing up Shira's past, it's like, I always think that, like, I don't know what it is, but it adds to someone's aura. You know, they gain aura, you know, when you bring up that they've been able to have a comeback, that they've been able to overcome something. You're literally bigging them up. That's like one of the biggest compliments. Like, wow, you're unrecognizable. Wow, you've like literally jumped timelines. Oh my God, I can't even recognize you, or your actions, or the lifestyle, or whatever. Or you did this thing or whatever, and wow, it did not have those consequences from you, like for you. It didn't stop you. Some people, you know, I think one of the things I love about Shira is that, and something that I always want to enforce on my channel, is that as a woman, being good is only going to get you so far. Like, in business, in relationships, with your time, with your body, what societally is expected out of you to be a good woman is overrated. Like, me personally, I am not, like, do you think Shira's concerned with being a good woman? A lot of the women who feel like they're good women, they're so good, ooh, good girl, like, you're doing all that for what? What are you getting out of that? Honestly, most of the times the bad girls win. The bad girls are always ahead. The girls that, like, and it's not even necessarily that they're bad, but it's just that they're not allowing themselves to be manipulated by people calling them bad or calling them good. You calling me good or me bad, what you decide to call me is not going to change me being selfish, me being self-absorbed, me putting myself first, because everybody else is putting themselves first as well. And it's all about filling your cup first and overflowing into the people that you so deeply care about. Nobody benefits from you being an exhausted, depleted, miserable, pocket watching, privileged, obsessed, like you're mad at the pretty girl. You're not going to benefit from that at all. The only thing that's going to happen is you're going to continue in a spiral downward where, you feel like you've been wronged. You feel like there's this sense of justice that hasn't been served yet because the women who break the rules still get to get ahead. Well, that's what privilege is. Yeah, that's kind of like when people like with wealth privilege, people who have like huge pockets and huge, that's power because you can pay people off. You can take your money elsewhere. That is power. That's privilege, that level of influence. And it's the same thing with maybe it's a woman's beauty. Maybe it's other traits about her that adds to that pedestal. A lot of times, oftentimes in the world, it's about the look. And it's like, so you calling it out is not going to stop it. I think that you kind of actually cause people to rebel more. The more that you shame men for simping over beautiful women, and you're getting at this deep place in them psychologically where there's always going to be men who want to spend. There's always going to be women who get to be bad and still get to live a life that's good. A lot of women feel like they have to be good and they have to earn a good life. And being a good woman is based on these societal standards where the women who are good were often tired, sick, miserable, mean, aging prematurely, versus they're not looking vibrant and like they're full of longevity and they're not able to have free time and adventure and explore. It's not even down into the deep, deep details. Sometimes it's just the overall life. What is normal for your life? Is your contribution as a woman valued to yourself? What do you contribute to yourself? Do you value it enough to give it to yourself first? Or do you feel like it's kind of just like cheap? Well, you'll just give it to other people first. And like, do you feel like you're even good enough for your investment? Like, what do you even think about your own time, about caring for yourself? I think that what she teaches, I think Shira would probably, since we're talking about friendship on the channel lately, I think she would probably make a good friend, honestly, if she desired to. And you know why I think that she would make a good friend is I think that one, she's not concerned with being good. So I think that it would be more likely that less likely. I think it would be less likely that she would just cross you for no reason, unless it was like to get to her bag and she needed to. It's like at that point, I think that there's an energy that a woman can have that's open. And if a man wants to step through that door, then he will. If he wants to, he's going to do that. And it's like, I just think too many women are threatened by her mindset. They're threatened by her beauty. They're threatened by how she's aging gracefully. They are threatened by her fluid identity. They're threatened by the way that she has this really rich backstory, and where there's this sense of infamy around her, where people are discussing and researching her. When I saw that girl who was looking up, doing all that research, and I saw that piece of matted looking crochet hair in the back of her head sticking up, and I saw her talking about Shira, I was like, yeah, it's okay. I saw her demeanor, I saw her body language, I just saw what she looked like, and I was like, yeah, you look like the type of girl who would have an issue with Shira. I've had women who approached me before speaking negatively on Shira, which I don't know. You feel like Shira's my business randomly? I didn't bring that up. Why are you bringing up Shira? Do I make you think about Shira? I make you think about hypergamy? I make you think about men spending money on me? I'm sorry. But, if a woman is very much living the opposite type of lifestyle, where I'm not saying hypergamy is superior or preaching that that's what you need to do, but I will say women will choose another lifestyle. There are multiple different other lifestyles, but women with some lifestyles, if they didn't choose the right one for their fit, or they're not okay with just being wrong, like listening to Shira's content over time is like a lot of the things that she speaks about, you're going to to be able to take in anybody's content you have to be able, especially if they're providing value, you have to admit that there may be something that you're wrong about. Maybe you are wrong about something the creator is saying that you thought to yourself, and you're like, I wrote that off, that belief off, because I thought it was a thought that nobody else had. But now I have this creator who is showing that other people think this way as well. And I can either say like, yeah, I used to think that way too, but then I decided that no, that I was wrong then. And so now I can't be wrong by seeing that like, oh yeah, this validates that. This content is like, oh, that is backing that up. There's also the fact that like, if you hear Shira's content and it's just like wildly out of left field from what the fairy tales that you have about men and what you've been taught or what you have not been taught, I mean, to take that information in and to be able to not spit out the meat with the bones when you observe her and you hear the things she has to say, you know, you can only do that if you are fulfilled enough and focused in your lane, feeling as though, you know, what I have going on is like good. My sense of self-confidence is not based on being right all the time. I can be wrong. There's no issue. Even things like a miscommunication, there could be a miscommunication, and then when there's clarity, I'll be like, oh yeah, okay. Like, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, there was a miscommunication. That's an inconvenience. That's a human thing that happens. There's no malice in that. I don't feel shame for not understanding something, for not knowing something. That's not what I think my value is. That I have to be the smartest person in the world, that I have to know everything, that I have to never be proven wrong. I have to never change my mind on something. I have to die on hills and dig my heels in all over the place. And that's what some women do. You know, they don't have the results to show that the way that they want to interact with the opposite sex is making any sense. They don't have the results, but they want to come at somebody who she actually does have social proof. So social proof, in my opinion, is a neutral thing where you're able to show that you have, or not, I think I'm calling upon the wrong term. I think I mean to say proof of concept. You know, when she has women who come in there giving testimonials, whether or not somebody were to be found out to be a scammer, to be lying about anything, the simple, even if that were to be part of the scam and the lie, let's say all of her super chats are just fake and they're just her, or they're just James, and like, she doesn't actually have any followers. Everybody's a bot, you know? Nobody has unique thought. No, none of her support should be thought of to be real and valuable, because, you know, they'll see people validating her, or the fact that people are going to her for advice. It's saying that you're okay with your results, but there are women who see what she has and they see what she speaks about, and they put validation, or they put they put some respect on that. They put weight on it. They don't just make it like a little thing. They just, they take it and they maybe do their own research, and they come back and, you got to be a certain type of girl to really strongly have an issue with Shira. I have never felt personally attacked or wronged by Shira or anything that she says. I think that in general, I see a woman who looks like she's not hating on the next girl. I've never heard her beefing with somebody else. I've never heard her with the next girl's name in her mouth. I don't know her life. So I don't just come to her content looking to find malice or looking to invalidate her or to, make it so that she's not as credible. I don't have any issue with her content, and I am curious how you guys feel about Shira, how you guys feel about this whole, I guess, monumental people digging up her past and finding out, oh my God, she's lived a life. Like, whoa, that is so monumental. When you're an exotical, that's monumental. Like, oh, you lived a life? That's crazy. Like, that's so weird that some girl is just sitting there like, how boring. Like, do you have money? Like, do you have a life? Do you have hobbies? Are you dating anyone? Do you have any friends? Or do you like do anything that you're just sitting there like, I'm going to deep dive into like Shira 7 right now. Like, that's loser behavior. That's hella weird. That makes me think of like a while back when the Ashley Dalton situation happened, and there was that unfortunately it was an exotical who got up there acting a fool, mad that she was talking about, yeah, you should put effort into your appearance and stuff like that, and got up there trying to troll her and everything, all dysregulated. It's like, girl, it's giving obsession. Like, that's, you a little bit too invested into Shira for me. Like, I've never once thought, let me look up Shira's real name. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? That's hella weird. And it's like, and I like don't, I'm not even like that with people that I dislike, because I was trying to think like, okay, like, well, I like her. I'm not trying to look up her real, like, never felt any type of way towards that. So I'm trying to figure out that type of behavior that I feel like is loser behavior. But I'm trying to figure out, like, is that like, are you like trying to admit that you're obsessed with a person and that you really enjoy them, or like you're jealous of them? Like, is that why you're putting all that time in? Because it's like, I have never wanted to, like, to this day, there are so many women who like just, I don't know, I'm just like not obsessed with them. And I'm not talking about exoticals, but even with that, it's like, even when I like people, I'm not sitting there obsessive. Like, that's weird. That's excessive. Being obsessive to me is excessive, especially when you're going to try to like feel like somebody is not all that they are. It's like in Shira's content, if people are to the point where this girl at her apartment, she had no, like, do you have, well, she must have had the Wi-Fi. She has Wi-Fi, I would guess, if she was able to look up Shira. But maybe it's like, I just feel like I get too easily distracted on my phone to do a deep dive into Shira 7. I don't think I'm that much of a hater. I think I have too much of a life. I'm not a loser enough to be trying to like expose somebody who's trying to keep women safe. Like, I don't, she's trying to keep them from being depleted, keep them from being miserable and broke and destitute. Because it's like, you know, while I don't pedestalize one form of dating, I'm a big believer in, if he not afraid to ask you for a, you know, he wouldn't be like, I would say like certain types of men, they're going to be more patient and everything like that anyways, because like they're not just trying to rush and get something from you. But even if like you could do all that perfect, you could wait 90 days, 120 days, you could do whatever, and somebody's just going to do what they want to do. And it's like, I don't know, I don't think that I respect and I think about women so little that I am going to argue against a woman saying like, you deserve to be compensated for all of the value that you bring. It's an even exchange. You're not taking anything from him, because it's like, even just the energy that men get from women, they use that energy to then go do all the things. They're going to be the worker ants and everything. After they got their, you know, their pat on the head and everything, then they're going to go be these like super soldiers and be powered to go do all their things that we get to benefit off of. But it's like, they literally need that to survive. Like, I think as women, we think of men as fickle enough that, or some women do, where it's like, to Shira, she talks about the mindset of like, you know, knowing that men are not really good listeners, they're not really good friends, they're not really that emotionally intelligent oftentimes. So like, if that's what you're trying to get from them, you're probably going to be depleted and stuff, because as a woman, you're probably better at all of those things than he is. So it's like, so you're going to be doing all of that labor for free. Like, there's no money that's going to come with that. Like, and you're having sex and stuff like that. Like, that's kind of wild. That's a lot to be doing. I don't have an issue with her talking about what she talks about. I think that the advice that she applies, if it doesn't apply to you, you should just let it fly. But I think a lot of women, I think the reason they actually get so angry and obsessive over her is because they try to apply her advice and it doesn't work for them, because it's like they're just trying to copy and paste her. But it's like, there are other things that she hints to, that she alludes to, other information. She can't just do everything for you. And you also have to remember that people get, they feel very entitled to somebody like her, like a Shira 7, who she makes all these videos and she sits on the live stream, she gives people her time. And it's like, some people will even feel like they're doing too much, giving her like a super chat. I've never sent one, but I'm also not one who feels like, you'll have people, I see weird people sometimes in comments on the live where it's like there are other people. It's not that the creator is trying to ignore you, it's that they're getting so many comments in. Like, it's a big channel. They're live, things are coming in fast, they're moving fast, and some people are putting the investment back into the creator then, who, you know, they value her work and what she does. And they say it's valuable enough that I'm not just going to feel entitled to you reading all of these comments fast enough as they're moving up and down the screen to reply to me fast enough. Like, I'm going to, even if it's $1, even if it's 99 cents, like, hey, you're not entitled to see me. I'm going to make myself shown. I'm going to make myself visible for you. But I am curious just what you all think about it, because I like to talk about Shira, her content. I enjoy it. I find the discourse around it to be very fascinating, to be very enlightening, and I notice patterns. Oftentimes, it's not a like complete one for one, but I do notice trends in the women who support her and what they look like, and the women who just seem like vehemently against her. They're just like, I hate that bitch for no reason, but oftentimes because it's like for them, it's like, yeah, if you try to, you just like, sometimes it's just in you, not on you. There's a level of detachment that Shira is able to have that a lot of women, they don't understand. There's a level of self-absorption that she has that some women and men, people feel like it's conceited energy. You know, they feel like it's grifter energy. You know, they feel something about it just because for them it doesn't work. And that's okay that it doesn't work for you. But like I said, I seen the way that girl who was coming for Shira looked, and I formed my opinion in like 0.003 seconds. But let me know how you feel about all of this down in the comments below. And until next time, worldies, eyes on the prize.